So today, we're going to return to our work with caricatures. And when we do that, what I want us to consider is not just having the one static image, but having many images and really moving from the idea that this is a picture of a character that I've created to this is a personality. This is a real character that we're developing. And when we do that, what we really need to think about is their personality. So in creating personality, we come up with situations where they experience emotions or feelings, problems, ideas. Things come to real life for them as they would for us. So what I'm going to do to help you with that today is a think aloud that will use a strategy that I like to call act it and catch it. In act it and catch it, what we actually do is become our character. Really think about the problem or the situation that they're in. Act it out. Become that character. And when you do that, what you need to do is really put yourself into it, catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror, and get a real authentic feel for what is happening to the face and body at that time. As you work through this strategy, you'll find that you're going to want to do it over and over again to get a real authentic taste of what a face really does in that situation and what the body really does. Give yourself time to loosen up and really become that character in that moment. So in the next few minutes, what we're going to do is have you watch me as I think aloud and act out the situation, catch my image in the mirror, and really get an essence or a real feeling for what that character is doing and being, so that when I move to my drawings, they can have that personality within them and really exude emotion and feeling. So as you can see here in this image, what I've got is a character that has moved through a period of time. And the period of time includes a beginning, a middle, and an end. In order for that to happen successfully, we need to show emotion on that character's face. You need to see a little bit about his personality. At the very beginning, we've got a quite happy character. And he's just riding his bike along and everything is going fine. And then we start to come into some trouble. Well, that's when it starts to get difficult for us as artists to really show that feeling or emotion, how that character is going to go through this situation. In our minds, we can imagine what it would look like. But in this case, we're going to act it and catch it. So what I do to get myself through this kind of a situation is I become that character. So here I am. I'm riding my bike along and everything's going great, and I see there's a rock and I start to wobble. Now I'm going to have to stop talking at this point so that I can become the character. So here I am. Whoa, whoa, and down I go. That helps me a little bit because I can feel inside some of the things that the character is thinking and feeling and what that must look like on his face. So that's the act it piece. What I'm going to add to that is the mirror so that I can catch it, so I can get a real look for myself, some of those subtle nuances that might appear on a facial expression. So here I go. I'm riding my bike, everything's fine, riding along, oh, oh, and I stop. I look in the mirror and catch. What are my shoulders doing? What are my arms doing? I notice that my fists are very tight, clenched on the bars. I notice that my face has become like in question of what's going on. When I use this strategy, I do this action over and over again to get a real authentic look at how this character's face might be contorted. So I'd go through it again. Oh, and stop and look. What does that look like? What's happening to my eyebrows? What is my face doing? Is my neck pulled back? Is it forward? There's lots of questions that you can ask about the whole top end of your torso. If you're just looking at the head of your caricature, if you're looking at your whole caricature, what is the whole body doing? Over and over again, take a look. Make the sounds. Become the character in that experience. For me, sometimes I say that we can imagine what it might feel like to be that character in that situation. But when you use a strategy like this, you get a chance to really see, for real, an authentic look at what that character's face might look like or what their body might look like. This strategy helps me when I'm having a hard time really bringing a personality, really communicating the emotion and feelings in that character. So this strategy isn't only useful when you're creating caricatures like we are now. It's something that you can consider every time that you're really creating any kind of painting or 3D image, any illustration, any idea, depiction of a human face or form. It can be whenever you're trying to communicate feeling or emotion within your artwork. This could also transfer, when you think about it, to writing. When you're trying to create a character, a personality in writing, taking a moment to put yourself in that situation and catch, act out, then catch what you look like can help you to really develop that character, develop the situation to be more descriptive. When you're considering music, or when you're considering drama, any of the arts for that matter, this active and catching strategy could be helpful to you.